The following program was recorded before the recent sacking of the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, and also, we have heard that this guy has just returned to the cabinet for the first time in 7 years. Remember memories like this?
Pepper, you never returned my calls. Come here, little piggy.
It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
Des Clark, and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. And joining me are four brilliant stand-ups from across the nation. On my right, we have Ashley Storey and Ignacio Lopez, and up against them are Esther Manito and Jim Smith. In the news this week, an international report has found that British women are the heaviest binge drinkers in the world. A representative for the group responded with, "Hey!" before trying to winch the waiter. A proposed new ecocide bill means polluters could get up to 20 years in prison. Gangsters are very worried, as they're now not sure if they'll get more time for doing the murder or dumping the body. And Carol Vorderman has quit her BBC Radio Wales show after refusing to stop criticising the government. The former Countdown presenter is a fierce critic of the Tories, calling them a bunch of consonant, vowel, consonant, consonants. Right, you've met the panel. Let's crack on with round one. This is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So, Ashley and Ignacio, can you tell me what this is all about?
The King
has appeared in court in a civil case that could determine the future of his empire.
The monarch
And two of his sons are accused of fraudulently inflating the value of assets
for the year ahead
by billions of dollars.
I think the first story is about King Charles' speech to Parliament, which is written by Parliament, where he talks about what's for the future of Britain politically.
This is the news that King Charles III has delivered his first King's speech to Parliament, marking the start of the parliamentary year. As this was the first time a king had opened Parliament in 70 years, some MPs sang the wrong words to the national anthem. You might have seen it. For example, instead of happy and glorious, Jeremy Corbyn accidentally sang "Destroy the Fascist Imperialist Monarchy." It's an easy mistake to make, said Mr. Corbyn. Ashley, what were your thoughts then on the King's speech? What did you make of it?
I didn't really pay much attention to the King's speech, Des. I don't care. I think it's absolute nonsense. I saw that somebody had wrote he's the Green King, and I didn't know he was a Celtic fan.
Ignacio, what about you? What did you make of the King's speech?
It was interesting. He didn't obviously write the speech, but it was written for Parliament. He talked about the self-driving cars, and they said it was going to be a revolution for transport. And I thought, if there's one word that the royals don't want to have to say, it's the word revolution, because people are going to start talking about some of those self-cutting guillotines soon, and I don't know if that's going to be...
Yes, the King's speech has happened. Esther, what did you make of it?
Oh, I don't know, an unelected king reading out the policies of an unelected prime minister to unelected lords. What a time for democracy. Isn't it great? What was it? He was banging on about the fact that he's going to make it harder to export. They want to make it harder to export cattle for fattening up. Turn to the farmer, yeah.
Yeah, so you can't export cattle for fattening, but you can take them on holiday still if you want. That's a thing. That's totally allowed.
Ignacio, what about yourself watching this King's speech? Did it inspire you for the year ahead in politics?
I mean, elements did. I feel one thing that was quite inspiring, they brought up that they're going to start a trade pact with 11 nations. I thought, this is remarkable. What an incredible idea. I can't believe nobody's ever thought of this before. Somebody never done this ages ago. I'm beleaguering the point here, but I was happy to hear at least something will come of it that could be positive. And I thought that King Charles, Not my king. I think no, he's not good enough at money laundering to be a Spanish king. All right, so he's not.
The king, of course, was joined by the Queen, Camilla, during the speech. But do our panel remember a time when maybe they were a +1?
I used to be my mother's +1 a lot. She's a stand-up comedian and she used to make me go to gigs with her all the time and I hated it. And see, the one time that I was like, I'm an adult and I'm not coming to your comedy gig. The one time it was in LA and she walked out and I had gone out by myself and had a drink and she walked out and she was hand in hand with Zac Efron. And she was like, this is my new pal Zac. He works here in the theatre. I was like, he does not work in the theatre, Mum. Because she said to him, where do you work? And he goes, here, meaning Hollywood. And she thought he was a usher in the theatre. Oh. She came out hon and hon with him, this is my pal Zac. I was like, High School Musical! High School Musical!
That is amazing. Can you tell us about a time, Jim, when you were a +1?
Well, it's how I got into comedy, really. Discovered my love of stage. Was at the Young Farmers Pantomime, and there was nobody for the back end of the horse, so I just... That's how I started, worked my way up. Can say that this year I'm at the front end of the horse, so it's good.
Yes, before the speech, Rishi Sunak wished King Charles good luck. And looking at Rishi's policies ideas, Charles said, hi, right back at you, pal. Yeah, well done, Ashley and Ignacio. You get 2 points for that. It was, of course, the King's speech and the opening of Parliament. Right, Esther and Jim, what was the other story we were after?
Is it the fact that Trump is likely to win another election, even though he is potentially a criminal?
There it is, and that is the right answer. Well done. Yes, 1 year out from the US presidential election, and major polls suggesting that Donald Trump is ahead of President Biden in key battleground states. And if the election was held now, based on these polls, Trump would win. Esther, it sounded like you couldn't believe what you were saying. Can you believe Donald Trump is ahead in the polls?
Yeah, I can, because he's had the best campaign ever. It's called President Biden. And I think having a president that can only be understood by Ozzy Osbourne is always... Have you? I mean, it's getting to a point where it's unethical that man is just stood on a stage, just like, and just Ozzy's in the corner, like winking back at him, like, "Don't worry, mate. We're both on the same page here."
Well, there you go. That is the fact this week. They're saying these polls have been released and Donald Trump is ahead. What do you think about this, then, Ignacio? Can you believe Trump is ahead in the polls?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about time we had, a young person in the White House.
What do you think about this, then, Ashley? Can you believe Trump is ahead in the polls now?
Yeah, I can believe Trump is ahead in the polls. It's America. It's the weirdest place in the world where folk believe in frogmen and mothmen and fairies and angels. It's like my brain, but a country. It's weird.
I don't live there. Be all right.
It is a bit bleak as well when all the candidates just look like extras from Last of the Summer Wine.
Yeah, else. Just Trump getting rolled into hell in a bath. Yeah.
I can't say too much because my fiancée Morag, whose relatives actually come from Lewis, she's a distant relative to Trump.
Oh.
And because in Scotland everyone's connected. And my wee daughter Alice, who's got lovely kind of blonde hair, she's only 3.5. Well, she some orange paint fell on top of her. The other day, just in her face, she fell in it, and I thought, there's the resemblance.
Just watch, see if he starts building a wall. Start worrying, Jim. Start worrying, mate. What do you think then? Because some people say, well, look, the legal cases will get him, they'll bring him down. Do you believe that?
I don't think so. I think the guy is human Teflon, isn't he? Like, there's not everything's just bouncing off this guy. I can't believe he's still going. He could do absolutely anything right now. He says whatever he wants, and people cheer for it and stuff like this. I mean, he said absolutely horrible things about the people of Mexico, which terrifies me, as Americans can't tell the difference. So when I go there, talking up a lot of racial trouble when I travel.
Donald Trump is 77 and running for president again. What do you, our panel, want to be doing in your 70s?
Well, they say, don't they, as soon as a woman hits 40, she's invisible. So by the time I get to 70, I'm just going to be out shoplifting, perving.
I want to be in an old folks' home just because I love that the music we listen to now will be the music that old people listen to in the future. And I'll be in an old folks' home just doing grime in the karaoke, like, I wake up every day as a daydream. Everything life be what it seems. Some people think I'm bonkers, Des.
Well done, Esther and Jim. You get 2 points for that. It was, of course, the mashup of the King's Speech and Donald Trump being ahead in the polls. And at the end of that round, well done. Our teams are all square. Now, so much of our news is about public opinion, so to find out what stories people are talking about, we spoke to two friends of the show, national treasure Gail Porter and journalist and broadcaster Paul English. So Esther and Jim, what do you think Gail is on about here?
I actually was quite excited because I thought maybe I should go along for the job. I've done train announcements before. Please make sure you take all your baggage with you. Welcome to Scotland.
I think it's about they're trying to get folk to work on the train between Glasgow to Mallaig.
It is a story that trainee train drivers have been sought for one of the world's most scenic rail routes, the West Highland Line. The line connects Glasgow with Oban and Fort William, taking passengers through places that have featured in films and on TV, including, of course, the stunning Glenfinnan Viaduct, which has appeared in the Harry Potter films. Job website Hi Jobs described the vacancies as dream jobs for any unemployed rail enthusiasts. Yes, somewhere in the distance, Margaret Ferrier's ears have just pricked up. Well done in getting the right answer, Jim. Does this sound like a dream job to you then?
It does actually, yeah. There's a lot of Harry Potter fans go on that train. In fact, when I came down to Glasgow today, I got the train down here at Queen Street Station. I did see a drunk guy trying to ram a trolley into a wall. So...
It's an average day, Jim, innit? Yeah. You know. Go on, Ashley. Does this sound like a dream job to you?
Oh, so much, because I love trains and I love Harry Potter. You put William Shatner in that train and I'm a puddle. I'm so excited. Like, choo-choo! I'm so excited.
Well, I think you sound ideal for it. Ignacio, what about you? Does this sound like a dream job for you?
No, man, it sounds horrible, okay? Because I obviously travel a lot doing my job like as a stand-up on trains and stuff, and I couldn't imagine having to work on the Harry Potter train and having, like, you know, drunken Quidditch fans just beating the heck out of each other and causing a commotion. Imagine you had the job and you had to go into HR only to receive your P45 from a sorting hat, okay? That would be a complete... nightmare.
Right? Never thought about that. Yeah, good point. What do you think then, Ashley? We've touched upon this, but is using Harry Potter a good way to recruit young people? What do you think, Ashley?
I don't think that they're not going to work on the trains because it's not Harry Potterish enough. I think it's mainly to do with, like, the pay and the pensions and stuff like that. I don't think it's the lack of, like, do-do-do-do-do.
Imagine that entitlement. Yeah. Oh my God, it's just not, like, wizardy enough.
But I get really hung up on the whole Harry Potter thing because in my head, when I was a little girl and I read it, I thought it was a working class story because it was about a wee boy who lived under the stairs and he went to a state school in Scotland, and then I watched the film and everybody's like, it's the Nimbus 2000, it's the fastest broom yet. And it devastated me. Also, if you are working class and you end up in Hogwarts and they're like, oh, just send an owl back to your ma. If I send an owl back to the Carlton, my uncle is stealing that. And then walking about the forge going, do you want your picture taken with an owl?
And that, of course, was the right answer. We were talking about the dream job on the most scenic train route in the world. We love it. Scotland's West Highland Line was voted the top rail journey in the world by readers of an independent travel magazine in 2009, beating a train journey in Peru into second place. Get it up, ye Paddington. Well done. Trainee train drivers for the West Highland Line is the right answer. Congratulations. Well done, Esther and Jim. OK, Ashley and Ignacio, it's your turn now. What do you think Paul is talking about here?
The big man, the wee man, Shorty, Ginge, when I had long curly hair, and some of the first and second years used to delight in shouting up the corridor, Mophead!
Is he talking about nicknames?
Bingo, well done. That's the right answer. Yes, a survey this week has found that Big Man, Ginge, Spud, Shorty and Tank are the most common nicknames used in the UK. Coincidentally, that's also the original lineup of the Spice Girls. The survey suggests that 39% of adults have a nickname and 46% possess more than one. But 10% also admitted that they aren't keen on their pet names. What do you make of this list, Ignacio?
People don't want to pronounce my full name, Ignacio, which is, it's only 4 syllables. It's not that difficult to learn. So I've had loads of, nicknames since I've come to the UK. Enrique, Manuel, go back to where you came from. I've got all of these different nicknames all of the time.
Oh, Ashley, what do you make of this list then?
There's one's like Moustache Man.
Oh, I've had that one actually. That's one of mine. I've had this mustache since I was 6 years of age. All right, that's it.
Me too. The one I didn't get was Jesus. I was like, how do you get the nickname Jesus?
I know somebody who's been nicknamed Jesus, and that's because he is a 7'2" guy, and every time he comes in the room, people go, Jesus! That's why he has that nickname. Everyone calls him.
I think it's a West of Scotland thing though, because it is when I'm travelling into gigs in Glasgow and I tune into Saturday night and they're playing all the dance music. You just get drunk folk. All right, big man, how's it going? Can you get a shout out? Can you do a shout out? Right, just want to say hi. Just a few folk. Big Man, Ginge, Spud, Shorty, Wee Man, Kiddo, Sparky, Chicken, Sunshine, Rocky, Tank, Smarty, Foxy, Nugget, Spider, Beardy, Donkey, Ace, Jesus, Toots, Bigfoot, Bobby Dazzler and Mardy Bum.
I love that. Esther, what do you think? If you look at the list, what do you make of it?
I like the one Bin Man. Bin Man. What does it even mean? Why would you be called Bin Man?
Maybe he's a bin man.
Maybe somebody's been nicknamed Bin Man because you only see them on a Tuesday. Maybe that's the...
People always complain about him to the council.
Esther, what about you in this conversation of nicknames? What's the best nickname that you've ever heard?
I got a nickname from my sisters, which was Huffy Puffy Ham Fat.
Jim Smith.
I was called Shovels at college because I had massive big hands there.
I thought he brought foam fingers in. Look at the size of them. We're talking about nicknames, Ashley. What's the best nickname that you've ever heard?
The guy called Hugh Forsyth who does glazing, and he was called Julio the Glazier.
Two of the most popular nicknames in the UK are Shorty and Wee Man, although the Speaker has told Keir Starmer to stop using them at Prime Minister's questions. There we go, the top nicknames in the UK is indeed the right answer. 2 points go to Ashley and Ignacio! You're listening to Breaking the News from BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. Now, this round is all about who's in the news. I will play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Ashley and Ignacio, you're up first this time. Who is this?
So did he tell the truth when he quoted that? Yes, he told the truth as it was given to him. And the Prime Minister does tell the truth. I don't think a lot of people really understand that.
Was that Nadine Dorries?
Well done for pulling that from wherever you got it. It was indeed Nadine Dorries, the former Culture Secretary, who in extracts from her new book has claimed that the Conservatives have been controlled for 20 years by a cabal known as The Movement, which brought down Boris Johnson as Prime Minister. The group, which she alleged include Levelling Up Secretary Michael Gove, also toppled Ian Duncan Smith as leader and undermined Liz Truss. What do you think, Esther? Do you believe Nadine's claims of a sinister Tory cabal?
Well, probably. I don't know. I mean, it is all quite sinister. But I do think it's mental how obsessed she is with Boris Johnson. I mean, she is obsessed with him. I swear to God, that bloke will go for a slash and she'll come round the U-bend just so obsessive. I love you. How could anyone take you down?
Jim Smith. What do you think? Do you believe Nadine's claims of a sinister Tory cabal?
I don't believe really anything.
No.
Just rubbish. You wouldn't get me buying her book.
Well, there's Jim saying he wouldn't buy it. Would you buy it, Ignacio? Would you buy the book?
Yeah, only the audiobook version if it is read by Jacob Rees-Mogg. Because I really struggle to get to sleep, so I think that would be quite good.
Just gently ease you off there.
Well, now I want to know who would do the audiobook version of it. I would buy it if the audiobook version was done by a really aggressive Samuel L. Jackson.
So what do you think then? We've got a mixed response. Esther, so I'll leave you for the casting vote. Would you buy Nadine's book?
If it was read by Jeanette Cranky. Otherwise, no. That is the only way I want to hear it.
Now, here's my question for you. What would your memoir be called and why?
I know you're thinking your name's Ashley Storey, you've got a pun in there, it writes itself, but I like to be subversive, so I'd call it Ashley Storey, a round peg in a square hole, in brackets, an erotic tale. In brackets, Taylor's version.
Ignacio, what about you? If you were writing your memoirs, what would they be called and why?
I think it should just be Stephen King in massive letters on the front. Because I just want to make some money, guys, all right? And that is the quickest way to sell some copies of my autobiography.
Clever man. I love that, Ignacio. Jim, what about you? Let's say you get a chance to write your memoirs. What would you call it and why?
I'd call it Born in a Field. As I was. But it's about growing up in the main streets in Gangland, Blairgowrie.
I mean, Shovels does sound like a gangster name, doesn't it? All right, we got Shovels over here. He'll sort you out.
That, mate. That's brilliant. Well done, yes. 2 points to Ashley and Ignacio. That was Nadine Dorries. Right, Esther and Jim, it's your turn now. Who is this and why are they in the news?
I figured I better call Apple, Tim Cook. And he had Siri change the pronunciation of my name. That's one perk of fame.
Barbra Streisand.
Well done, Esther. That's the right answer. This is iconic American singer and actress Barbra Streisand. She's in the news after giving a big interview to the BBC this week where she talked about her career, taking 10 years to write her new book and how fame is not all it's cracked up to be. The book is full of intriguing and captivating stories like the one about leaving home at 16, the one about the making of Funny Girl, and the one about the shadowy cabal that took down Boris Johnson. They all knew. Well, what do you think then, Jim? You would imagine someone with this storied and successful a career has had a lot of fun, but Barbara's not had a lot of fun in her life. Are you surprised about that?
Well, I suppose having all that money and fame, she could have really went a bit mental, like doing a big shop twice a week or something. I don't know what,
So, you are a big fan of Barbra Streisand, Ashley. Are you surprised to hear that she hasn't had more fun in her life?
I'm not surprised by it. I mean, this is a woman who is incredibly talented. She's sold a ridiculous amount of albums. She's been in films. She's won Oscars. She's won Tonys. And mainly people, all they can focus on is that she has a slightly large nose. Like she's a hobgoblin or something. She spent her whole life being told she's ugly and gaslit into thinking she's unattractive when she's just an all right looking woman.
Ignacio, are you surprised to hear that Barbra Streisand hasn't had more fun in her life?
I'm not surprised she hasn't had more fun, because, like you said, she's the type of person who's like asking Siri to pronounce her name, Don't ask Siri anything. That's her first mistake, okay? Like, honestly, I've made this mistake before, you kind of like, you talk to, and I don't have like one of those home devices where you can talk to it and ask to play music and stuff like that, but my neighbor does. They've got one of those boxes, and I don't know if you know this, but if you stand next to the wall and shout loud enough, they will call the police, all right? So it's just...
I was reading, she said she loved coming to the UK because she felt that feminism was solved because we have such great female role models like Margaret Thatcher. And I was like, well... If you love a miserable woman who has absolutely hatred for seeing working class women, then just give my GP receptionist a call.
She's got this album that she did quite recently. Like, she does duets with lots of other famous people, but my favourite thing about it is she improvises these little scenes at the beginning just before the song. And it's like, I've just come home from work, darling. What are you doing? And he's like, can I get you a drink? No, I don't drink. You know that. People. It is so epic and so good, and I heartily recommend everybody listen to it.
That's what we need, isn't it? Put a smile on our face.
Indeed.
And a spring in our step. What can we recommend that Barbara does for a bit of fun?
Get her to a ceilidh or something.
This is nice suggestions there for Barbara.
Strip the willow. A good Acadian strip the willow.
Gay Gordon.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
These are names of dances. Esther and Ignacio. It's just hearing the phrase strip the willow and the Gay Gordons. It's...
Dashing White Sergeant.
Yes, a rigorous Duke of Perth. They were.
We love her. Barbara Streisand is the right answer, and 2 points go to Esther and Jim. It's time now for our final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. So I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
Top of the morning to you, boys.
That is the aforementioned Barbara Streisand there, giving us her best Welsh accent. Right, get your fingers on your buzzers, and here we go. 1 in 6 UK workers say they do what? Ashley.
Is it Steel Stationery?
Oh, no. Brilliant answer, though. It's not right. It's nowhere near it. I shouldn't have done it all.
Why did you...
No.
Yeah.
1 in 6 UK workers say they do what? Esther.
Hokey cokey.
That would be brilliant. It's not right, though. 1 in 6 UK workers say they do what? Ignacio.
Their jobs?
That's an exaggeratedly high figure, and you know that. The answer is this. 1 in 6 UK workers say they work from home all the time.
Top of the morning to you, boys.
Oh, there we are. That is the klaxon. Barbara has Streisanded it. It's all over. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Ashley Storey and Ignacio Lopez. Commiserations. Just in second place, Esther Manito and Jim Smith. And we'll leave you with the breaking the news. Breaking news just in. David Bearglass, one of the most influential magicians and mentalists of the 20th century, has sadly died, aged 97. His funeral will be held next Tuesday, where mourners will be invited to guess which one of the 3 coffins that he's in. Glasgow city centre pubs will be able to stay open for an extra hour in a new trial. The scheme was brought in partly to give the city's pubs equality with Edinburgh and partly to give Wetherspoon's customers enough time to find the toilets. And Suella Braverman is in more hot water after being accused of deliberately stoking division by using Northern Ireland as a comparison with what she calls pro-Palestinian hate marches. The Home Secretary denies that she's on a leadership bid and says the fact that she's camping outside Number 10 is just a lifestyle choice. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye!
What is the point of David Cameron?